Welcome to a world where you can learn about real life in a setting that is alive and growing just like you are. From everyday people who may never have teaching certificates, but all have something valuable to offer. In a place where everyone is a student and everyone is a teacher. This is the One Room Schoolhouse.
Good morning, my friends.
Good morning, Miss Rebecca.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Oh my goodness, you guys are getting so good. Good morning to my friends at home. Welcome back for another special hour. We have a wonderful special teacher, guest teacher coming today. We're really excited about this person. But first, let's review our special teacher, our guest teacher from yesterday. Raise your hand if you remember. Who was our guest teacher yesterday? Magnolia. Papa. Indy's Papa was our guest teacher. Raise your hand and tell me. And if you're at home and you can get your parents to help you, comment in the comment section, okay? Raise your hand and tell me if you remember one thing that Indy's Papa talked about. Autumn.
He talked about that every day special guests are coming.
He talked about our special teachers coming every day. Josh, what is another thing? He read us a book. Wait a minute, did he just read any old book?
No.
What was special, Mackenzie, about this book? The cow said nay. On three. Tell me what a cow normally says. 1, 2, 3.
No.
Do cows normally say nay?
No.
What normally says nay?
Horse.
A horse. Silly. What else was special about this book? Did he read a book that someone else wrote, Ezekiel?
No, he wrote it.
He wrote the book, which makes him what? What does that make him, Aiden? What is an author? Indy's Papa is an author, and he's going to come back and be a guest teacher again in a few weeks to help you guys become authors yourselves. Won't that be fun? And some of our friends have already become authors. What do you know about that? Have you guys at home written any books? Do you guys have anything you want to share? If you do, take a picture of your book, post it in our comments. We really, really want to see it and share it with you guys. Awesome. What else? Caleb?
He writes songs.
He writes songs.
He's a famous singer.
He writes songs and he sings. Hazel, thank you for raising your hand.
My brother has comic books about Lightning Man, and he wrote the letters.
Perfect. What about you, buddy? CJ, do you remember what he did yesterday too? What did we talk about on the farm? All the animals, and we talked about animals that we have at home, and we talked about the animals that we have on the farm.
Cows.
And all of them. Indy says we have cows. Do you remember how many cows we have here?
Yeah.
How many? Let's see. 2?
6.
5. We have 5, and we have 6 right now, but we have 5 normally.
5 and 6.
Good memory, you guys. Oh, thank you, Aiden, for raising your hand.
Because one day, Papa let me go to Indian House.
How fun is that? How fun is that? So for our friends who weren't here yesterday in the classroom, did you guys watch at home with our friends who are at home?
Yes. No.
Yay! I got some pictures of you guys who weren't here yesterday, who weren't able to come, watching from home, and I'm so glad you guys were able to join us. Okay, so our guest teacher of the day asked me to do him a favor. So I'm going to do this favor for him. He wants to do the Pledge of Allegiance with you guys. Okay, so we're going to not do the Pledge of Allegiance just yet. Okay, so I know everyone's anxious for that. But we are going to say our morning prayer together. Okay, so raise your hand if you would like. Caleb, you were up first, buddy. You want to say the morning prayer? Come on up. Oh, let me help you. You got it? Let me help you. Thanks, CJ. Okay, let's go over there so all of our friends can see you. Friends at home, if you want to join us in prayer, that would be wonderful. Eyes closed, hands together.
Jesus, thank you for this day. And God bless us over our school. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Yes, we definitely want God to bless us over our school, right? Thank you for this sweet prayer. You know what one of my favorite things is about you guys praying in the mornings? Is that let me help you, is that everyone's prayer is a little bit different, right? Everyone has different things on their hearts to pray about. And that's what makes prayer so special. Because when we're praying, who are we talking to? God. We're talking to God, right? It's a one-on-one conversation with God. Our friends just happen to be able to hear us. So thank you for that sweet prayer very much. Okay, what did you guys do this morning already? Autumn.
Chores.
You did your chores. You guys like doing chores first thing in the morning? Get it out of the way. So our chores include what, Mackenzie?
Grabbing eggs from the chicken.
How many? I saw y'all come in with some eggs. There was a lot of eggs. Anyone remember?
I even picked one.
You did? Good.
Me too.
Well, that's a daily chore. So you guys are all gonna get to grab eggs. Did you guys go visit our new chicks? Are they all still good and happy and have food and water?
I don't think it's a chore because most chores are boring. That's fun.
Isaiah, I like that right there. What did he say? It is kind of fun, isn't it?
It is. Because you're doing farm chores.
You're doing farm chores. Remember, my friends, to raise your hand or I can't hear you. I want to hear what everyone has to say, but if you don't raise your hand, I can't hear you, okay? Thank you. Yes, Louie?
Did you know I found the Easter egg or those blue ones?
We have some special hens who lay blue eggs. And we're going to do a little science project and figure out what lays blues. And do you think there's any other colors that chickens may lay? Other than those brown? White? Yeah, remember, if you have something to say, I want you to raise your hand. I want you to raise your hand. Thank you. Friends at home, if you guys have anything to say as well, remember, comment away and we'll answer your questions. We'll get to you guys. Okay, so you guys did your farm chores already this morning. That is done. After our guest teacher, which the guest teacher has some very important stuff to teach us today. And then we are going to continue our day with our work. Yes, Indiana, thank you for raising your hand.
Chickens love to eat food and water.
Okay, so you gave the chickens food and water. Perfect. Thank you so much for doing that. Yes, Mackenzie.
That was actually my first time I ever actually picked up an egg. Well, gathering them.
Really? Well, that's pretty cool. Who else's first time was it to gather eggs? Well, that's awesome. I love these experiences that we get to experience for the first time together. Guess what? When I first started teaching here, I had never collected eggs. I had never been that close to a cow or a pig. So even though I'm the teacher, I am learning all these things with you guys, okay? I am learning just the way you guys are all the time. You're never too old to learn, I'm telling you. And you're never too young to teach. Yes, Caleb, thank you for raising your hand.
And we teach you.
Yes, you do. You teach me all kinds of things. Okay. I think it's time to bring in our guest teacher. I think it's time to bring in our guest teacher. Now, the guest teacher is a pretty important man. Hold on. My friends at home won't be able to hear me if you guys are all talking. Okay? I saw my guest teacher friend. Some people call him Chief. Some people call him Mr. Chris. There's all kinds of things he's going to talk to you about. I want your best manners, okay? I want you guys all listening, whole body listening, so that everyone can hear all the important things he has to say, as well as our friends at home, okay? Are you guys ready for our guest teacher?
Yes.
All righty, let me see if he's at the door.
We saw him.
Let's welcome our friend, Mr. Chris.
Hey guys! How are you? Wow. Let me see. Like some knuckles. All right. I am so glad to be here with you today. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Can you guys say good morning?
Good morning.
Well, good morning, everybody. Buenos dias. Even better. Thank you very much. How's everybody doing this morning? Yeah? Do you know, this is my third chance to come and visit with you all through the years, but I have so many new faces out here, people that I just met for the first time this morning, And what a lovely school you have. Is this a fun place to be?
Yeah.
Yeah. You getting to meet so many new friends? Yeah. And we have many friends from home that are visiting with us as well. Hello, everybody at home. We're very glad that you're here today to join us. And we have some really fun things to do today. You like my badge? Do you know what? Just because I was coming today, I shined it a little bit extra. Probably because I knew somebody would notice it the way you did. So thank you. That might be another knuckle bump. Thank you very much. So here's what I know. What Miss Rebecca, your teacher, has told me. Every morning, you have the opportunity to do something very, very special that has to do with this beautiful, beautiful symbol up here. What is this, boys and girls?
American flag.
The American flag. It's very special, isn't it? It's also very beautiful. It's got very beautiful colors. And every day you get a chance to say something to the flag. What is that?
The Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance. How many people know the Pledge of Allegiance in here? Wow, everybody, that's so great. Having the Pledge of Allegiance, it does something really, really special for all of us. It helps us focus on why this beautiful flag is so important to us. And today we're going to have a chance to talk about that. We'll have a chance to say the Pledge of Allegiance together, which is really great. And I'm super happy that you invited me here to do that today. But we're also going to do a few other things. You want to do some other fun stuff too? Yeah? How about if we learn how to march? How many people have ever marched before? You? I know, Indiana, you've marched too. And some of my friends that I've met before, we had a chance to march before, haven't we? CJ, you want to learn how to march? Yeah? And you too? Oh, this is going to be... Well, we'll just have to teach everybody then. Will that be okay?
Yeah.
We're also going to learn something else. We're going to learn how to salute. Wow. We're going to learn how to do a good salute. Because pretty soon, after we talk a little bit more and we get to know each other a little bit, we're going to get a chance to go outside and put the flag on the flagpole and raise it up. And we'll get a chance to salute. And we'll get a chance to say the Pledge of Allegiance. How many people have moms or dads or friends who have served in the military, who know somebody in the military?
I have my friend.
You have a friend in the military? Yeah?
My dad's in the military.
I know, Autumn, you had shared that with me before. That is really special, huh?
Once and helped some people.
You helped some people in the military?
I don't really know what a military is.
Well, we can talk about that. How many people know what the military is? Oh, is it Jalen? Is that right, Jalen? What is the military?
It's like I forgot.
Who else would like a shot? This is a good try, Jalen. Autumn, do you know what the military is?
It's where you do some wars and you raise the flag.
That's very good, sweetheart. Absolutely. And unfortunately, yeah, sometimes being in the military means you have to fight and you have to go to war. I know some people, you probably know, maybe your moms or dads or maybe your grandma or grandpa have served in a war before. And that's a really tough thing to talk about, especially at such a young age, right? But here's what we do know. We do know that there are some things in our life, no matter how old we are, whether we're in kindergarten or first grade or second grade or even third grade or higher, there are some things that are very, very important to us living where we live, living in this country, yeah? And what some men and women do is they volunteer to put this uniform on to defend that, so that we can all be free. Who likes to be free? Yeah, we all like freedom, right? It's important for us to have freedom, and unfortunately sometimes that means we have to do some things to make sure that we maintain our freedom. Like, for example, paying very close attention to our beautiful flag and things like the Pledge of Allegiance so that we remember just how important it is for us to be free. And our friends at home, exactly the same way. I know many of you probably have moms and dads and grandparents and friends who have served in the military before. And I can tell you that all of us who have served in the military believe that that flag is a very, very, very important symbol. So we'll talk more about that today, all right? But I think what we'd like to do first is everybody stand up, all right? Everybody stand up at your seats. You're going to stand up at your seats, all right? And the first thing that we're going to learn 3 quick things before we go out and we raise our flag. We're going to learn 3 things. In the military, it's very, very important that everybody is able to focus. How many people in here can focus? Yes, I know you can. You're doing such a great job already, right? It's also important when you have a man or a woman in uniform and maybe they have decorations on their sleeves like this. This talks about our jobs, right? And when somebody like this gives the command of attention, that means everybody in the room has to be at attention. So I'm going to say, "Tench hut." Exactly, Ezekiel, just like that, right? When I say "Tench hut," everybody needs to go. All right, let's practice. "Tench hut." Very good. Look, Ezekiel's already, you're already ready to salute. That's really great. Everybody at home, you could do this too, right? All right, so let's practice. And this is going to be for real, right? Everybody, "Tench hut." Very good. Now that you're at attention, some things you need to know. You're not allowed to move. You can't do this, right? You got to stay perfectly still. You're not allowed to talk, and your eyes have to be straightforward, right? Especially when we go outside and we raise the flag. Very, 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 very important. Okay, everybody can relax. Get the sillies out. All right. Second thing we're going to learn is we're going to learn how to salute. Ezekiel's already ahead of the game back there. I see him. Ready? And we had one up here too. Ready? So I'm going to call you to attention, and then we're going to learn to salute. Right? Everybody's going to watch me. Ready? "Tench hut." I love it. I absolutely love it. All right. Now we're going to take our right hand. Everybody hold their right hand up. And I'm going to hold it like this. Everybody hold your hand like this. And I want you to bring it right in front of your belly. Right in front of where your belly button is. Don't tickle yourself. All right, there we go. And then we're going to bring it straight up to the corner of our eye. Just like this. Very good, Mackenzie. And then we're going to bring it back down again. Okay? So when I call attention, you come to attention. And then to salute, I'm going to say, "Present arms." Okay, let's try it, because I know you can do it. "Tench hut." Present arms. And now to lower your hand, I'm going to say, "Order arms." And then back to attention again. Very good, boys and girls. Give me a round of applause. Very good. I hope at home you're able to do this with us as well. All right, last but not least, then we're going to go outside. We're going to learn to march. Who's ready to march? Aubrey, are you ready to learn how to march?
I'm not really ready because when I was getting out of my seat, I kind of got this.
Oh, no. But you know what? Here's something important. It's Henry, right? Is that right? Do I remember your name right? Is that Henry?
Yeah, very good job.
Henry, give me some more knuckles. Okay. It's important when we're in the military, sometimes, even when we get boo-boos, we still got to be attention, right? Okay, so let's try. "Tench hut." Very good. And then we'll take care of that boo-boo in a little while. Let me see, make sure. We're going to be okay? Do we need an operation? No, I think we're going to be okay. All right, you ready for attention? All right, now, I'm going to call you to attention, and then when we start marching, I'm going to say, "Forward, march." Now watch my arms, everybody. Everybody moving our arms like this. Okay, everybody sees that? All right, go back to your seats, and let's try. And I'll just have you march in place. Ready? "Tench hut." Forward, march. Very good. And last but not least is when we march, we're going to be in a straight line. Can you walk in a straight line? I think I saw you this morning when you were going to do your chores, and you can do really well with that. Okay. So are we ready to go outside and raise the flag?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be, well, we're all going to be around the flagpole, so hopefully we'll have a chance. Everybody will be really, really close to raise the flag. That'd be good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that would be fun, but the problem, I think, is that if I raise the flag, you'll go up with the flag, and then you'll be flying in the wind. You can't have that. No, you can't have that. Okay, here we go. We ready? Who's ready? Everybody ready? Okay. Attention. Very good with focus. Okay? Now, you can relax, and I'm going to ask you to line up. Miss Becca, do we want to line up over here?
Yes, we'll go out the front door.
Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do, boys and girls. We're going to line up right behind me in a straight line. Right behind me. Everybody come behind me in a straight line.
Straight line back here.
One
Perfect.
behind one another. Very good.
No, there you go.
And I'm going to put my hat on because when you have a military uniform, which we'll talk about later, you always have to have your hat on when you go outside. Okay? So I'm going to put my hat on like this. Okay? All right, are we ready to march?
So, Mr. Chris, do we stay in the line when we march?
Stay in the line
Okay.
until we get to the flagpole,
Okay.
and then I'm going to say, halt! And then you can stop marching, and then we'll spread out around the flagpole. That sound good?
Yes, sir.
Who's ready? Let me see a show of hands. Who's ready to go out to the flag? All right. Okay, here's our first test. We ready? Attention. Hut! Oh, we got to try again. We had one guy, Jalen, was signing autographs back there or something. Ready? Attention. Hut! Very good. All right. We ready to march? Let's go march. Remember, you got to stay in a straight line when we march.
March.
And sometimes when you're marching, you might hear somebody call what's called a cadence. So this will keep us in rhythm. You ready? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go hut, 2, 3, 4, hut, 2, 3, 4, hut, 2, 3, 4, hut, 2, 3, 4. Very good, boys and girls. And then we'll turn our corner here. Very good. Hut, 2, 3, 4. Hut, 2, 3, 4. Very good, everybody. Very good. Hut, 2, 3, 4. Hut, 2, 3, 4. Hut. We ready? Class, halt.
Why is there no flagpole?
Very good, everybody. All right, come on, gather around the flag. Everybody gather around the flag. Make a little room for me, though. Make a little room for me. Let's everybody stay on that side. That's very good. Everybody, great job. Okay, first, here's what we're gonna do. All right, hang on now, hang on. Don't grab it quite yet. I'm afraid that if I start,
Make sure that all of our friends can see you guys.
if I start
okay?
pulling on the flag,
Everyone take 2 steps back for Mr. Chris. Hands off for now. There you go. Everyone
All
can
right.
see.
Hands off.
Okay.
Hands off.
Okay, everybody, let me have your attention. Let me have your attention. Everybody look up here.
Look at Mr. Chris.
Okay, let me look up here. All right, check it out.
Hands off. He said hands off.
Let's talk about, God bless you. Let's talk about our flag. Let's talk about our flag. Remember, right, that this flag that we're getting ready to put up on that flagpole is a symbol of our country. What country do we live in? Have we even talked? America. America's a pretty great place, isn't it? Yeah? Some of you shared with me where you live. So some of you live in Spring Hill, and maybe you live in Spring Hill. Where else do you live, boys and girls?
America. I live in Colombia.
And Columbia, where else? Jalen, where do you
I
live?
live in Colombia too. I live in America.
Tennessee is our state, right? But here's our country. And this flag, boys and girls, this flag represents all of the United States of America.
I live in Lewisburg.
You live in Lewisburg. I remember that. That's right.
I live in Franklin.
You live in Franklin? Wow. So let's think about where our flag, right? What our flag does. Our flag represents our entire country. And this is really important. Everybody listen, this is super, super important. This flag represents each and every one of you, right? No matter how tall you are, or no matter how short you are, like me, right? Whether you have really great, awesome curly hair, or straighter hair, or redder hair, or you have really beautiful glasses, or you have a pretty bow in your hair, wherever you are, another pretty bow, this flag, boys and girls, everybody look at the flag. Everybody take a look at the flag. I'm holding on to it in my hands right here. This flag represents all of us. And that's important for us to remember, right? Because we should all love one another. We should all take care of one another. We should all do our very best to make sure that everybody, when we're around one another, right, feels welcome and feels loved. And really, ultimately, that's what this flag is all about. It's about love. It's about love of our country. It's about love of one another and making sure we do our very best, right?
Yes.
To always love one
Speaking
another.
of loving one another, I think a great idea is to make sure everyone gets to see this beautiful process is I want all my friends to come next to me, please. I want all my friends over here next to me, please.
Wonderful.
This way, we can make sure that everyone gets a chance to see this beautiful flag and process.
What a great idea.
Okay? Nope. Everyone
great
next to
idea.
me. Wonderful. And then you guys stay right here until Mr. Chris asks you to move, okay?
Okay, so
All
here's
right.
what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna put the flag on the flagpole, and then maybe we can get everybody around just for a minute so we can have a few people. If you can't hold on to the rope, that's okay. Maybe you can just hold on to the flagpole so we can all be one while we're raising the flag. How's that sound?
Yeah.
That good? Okay. All right. Now, another really important thing we want to remember about our flag is this flag never, ever, what? Touches the ground. Great job, Aubrey. This flag never, ever touches the ground. Great job, Aiden. I saw you ready. All right, never, ever touches the ground, which means we have to be very careful when we hold it, right? We want to be very respectful, and we never want it to drop. All right? So it's important that we make sure that we have these beautiful stars, right? See the white stars, the beautiful field of blue, and then our beautiful red stripes. We want to make sure that the stars are going to be at the top. So we don't want the flag to be upside down like this, right? We want the flag to be just like this, up at the top. Okay, so let's start by untying our beautiful lanyard here. And that's what this is called, by the way. This is called a lanyard, where it's around this pole. All right. Okay, now another thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we practice like this to make sure we know which way it's going, because otherwise the flag will be way down here and nobody will be able to see it. And we want to put it all the way at the top, okay? So let's click the first one into place right here. Everybody boys and girls see the little eyelets right here? Okay, we'll click that right in there like this, okay? And then we'll take this bottom one and we'll clip it right in here like this. Okay, all right, now let me just make sure you raise it just, all right, hang on one second, sweetheart. Let's make it just to make sure it's not gonna touch the ground. Okay, now, hang on, one at a time. Everybody come on around. Everybody come around where I am so we can all be a family.
Go around.
I want to do
Okay, hang on, don't pull yet. Wait till I tell you to pull. On the count of 3, I'll tell you to pull and we're gonna go nice and slow, okay? Everybody wait.
I can't get up.
All right, Aubrey, you wanna come in front of me? Come on over here. And you at least can touch the pole. All right, everybody, Indy, you here?
Let's make sure everyone has
Everybody's around. Who's behind me?
There you go.
Okay. Okay, ready? Now we're gonna go nice and slow. We wanna go up, right? Right, nice and slow. Very good, boys and girls. Oh, hang on. Oh my God.
All the way to the top.
There, all the way to the top. Very good. All right, let me have the rope again. Give yourselves a hand. Everybody clap.
Beautiful.
That was a great job. Okay, then we're gonna secure it by tying it around here. And we're gonna make sure,
It won't fall off.
all right, so that it doesn't fall off. And then we'll just wrap this in here, like so.
But what happens if it lands on the American flag?
Right.
There we go. All right. Great job, boys and girls. All right. Everybody stand. I want everybody to come back here where you were by Miss Becca, because it's time to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Who's ready? Who's ready? Okay.
Are we facing the flag, Mr. Chris?
Everybody should be facing the flag, you bet. And then we make sure that we put our hands over our heart. And if we're wearing a hat, like our friend Ezekiel, we want to take our hat off and we want to put that over our heart. Okay? Put that right over your heart. And remember, it's your right hand. Everybody show me your right hand. And that goes over your heart like this. Okay? Everybody is still. And are we ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. What a great job, everybody. Wonderful job. And we got one last really important thing to do before we start marching again.
Yes, sir.
Because we learned a few things. We learned how to come to attention. We learned how to march. But there was something else we learned to do inside. What was it? What was the other thing? Yes.
How to salute.
How to salute. Great job. All right, so attention. Oh, got to be standing up. Good job. Attention, Jalen. That don't look like attention to me. That's good, just like that. All right, here we go. Ready? Present arms. And that is a show of respect to our flag when we salute the flag, right? And then order arms. All right, great job, everybody. Wonderful. All right, I'm going to stand up over there and I'm going to call everybody to attention. Then we're going to march back in the classroom and we'll get a chance to talk and ask questions. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Oh,
Good.
we got to get behind
All right.
Mr. Chris.
All righty. Here we go. You come right behind me. All right. Everybody's ready?
Kitty's out.
Everybody's ready?
Kitty's out. The kitty's out.
That's okay.
Attention.
Mabel's out.
Forward march. Hut, 2, 3, 4. Hut, 2, 3, 4. Hut, 2, 3, 4. Great job marching, everybody. Hut, 2, 3, 4. Hut, 2, 3, 4. Great job, everybody. Great job. Give me some skin on the way in. All right. Great job. Autumn, I see you got some beautiful leaves. Aiden, here we go. Mackenzie. Henry. Mindy. We fly. And Miss Becca. All right. All right, everybody.
Sit at your desk. Everyone sit at your desk. We got some more fun things to talk about. Sit at your desks.
Raise your hand if you had fun. You have fun out there? Yeah? So every single day now, every single day, when you come in to say the Pledge of Allegiance, instead of just saying the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, I would like to ask a favor. Are you ready?
Yes.
You ready to do a favor for Mr. Chris? Yeah?
Yes, sir.
I want you to think about the words that we say when we say the Pledge of Allegiance, right? So let's say the Pledge of Allegiance together, and let's just take a couple of minutes and talk about the words that we say. Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. So there's 3 very important words in there. They're kind of big words, but you know what? This is a very, very, very smart group of kids. I can tell just by looking at you. And at home, I'm sure there's so many of you out there that recite the Pledge of Allegiance and think about the words that we say when we look at our flag. So 3 very important words. First word is pledge.
Allegiance.
When we say we pledge something, that means we promise. Very good. Very good. I don't think we've met yet. Give me some knuckles. What's your name? Magnolia. What a beautiful name. Thank you, Magnolia. Great answer. When we pledge some, we promise, right? And when we make promises, are promises important? They're very important, right? When we say we promise to do something, that means we really mean it, right? So that's the first important word. The second important word is to have allegiance. Boy, that's a huge word. What does that mean, allegiance? That means we're all going to come together. In America, that's right, Indy. We're all going to come together. You remember when we were out at the flagpole? We talked about how important that is, right? That all of us have wonderful, wonderful talents. All of us are very unique. We have beautiful bows and glasses and curly hair and red shirts, and you all have uniforms just like me, and we're all together. And that's very important. The last word we'll talk about there is the flag. And boys and girls, I want you to promise Mr. Chris that when you think about this flag, you're going to think about all the men and women who have worn the military uniform, like Mr. Chris, but you're also going to think about all of the firefighters and all of the police officers and all of the people working in hospitals and everybody who works and has jobs, like your mommies and daddies, maybe brothers and sisters if you have older ones, if you've got friends and aunts and uncles and grandmas and grandpas, right? So many people go to work every day with one job, and that job is to help people. And that's kind of a fun thing, isn't it? Isn't that great? Wouldn't you want to do that, CJ? Wouldn't you want to help people? Yeah, because it's great fun. It's great fun to help people and to give yourself to other people, right? To put yourself second and let people go ahead of you. Whether you're standing in line to have lunch, or whether you're going to recess, or any number of reasons, it's always good to be kind, respectful, and help. And that's what this flag stands for. The other thing I want to talk about real quick, and then we'll maybe do some questions.
Yes, I was going to say, if our friends at home have any questions, please have your parents help you write them out so we can ask them to Mr. Chris. Y'all start thinking of questions while you're listening too, okay?
That would be super great.
Yes.
The last thing that we want to talk about when we talk about the flag in the Pledge of Allegiance is when the Pledge of Allegiance was written, when somebody wrote the Pledge of Allegiance, in the very beginning, it sounded different than it does now. But in 1954, that was a long time ago, right? 1954. In 1954, we decided to put 2 words into the Pledge of Allegiance that are very, 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 very important. And normally, it's sitting right over here in a little plaque, but today it's sitting over there to the left. And those 2 words are under God. Everybody say that with me? Under God. And really what that means is it's a further proof for us to be kind and to love one another, right? When we talk about the flag, we talk about what the flag means, and when we say the words under God, it means that we're willing to be kind and loving to one another, right? That we know that God is here to protect us and to love us, and in return, what we do is we love one another. That's a really good thing, isn't it? Yeah? I think it's very, very important. So, that's the Pledge of Allegiance. I think you all did very, very well today. Give yourselves a hand again. Like you mean it. Like you mean it. Great job. And for those of you following us at home, I hope we were able to do your own reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance and learn a little bit more about what that means to us. Now, it might be some fun to have some questions.
We already have questions coming in from our friends at home, so
Wonderful.
keep them coming.
All right.
With those questions, and we'll get to them. I know I have lots of questions. I know you guys do. Let's start with a friend from home. My friend Grace. Hi, Grace. Grace wants to know why you wear your hat when you go outside.
Oh, what a great question. Thank you, Grace. So am I looking here? Okay, great. Hello, Grace. Thank you for your question. The hat is a permanent part of the military uniform. It's called going undercover. Not the way you might have heard before, but the hat is called a cover. And when you put it on your head, you're showing respect. It's respect for the uniform, it's respect for what the uniform stands for, and when we're outside, we know that wearing the hat completes the entire military uniform. It's kind of the equivalent of making sure that you take pride in everything that you do when you put your uniform on, because this uniform represents you and represents all of the men and women and boys and girls in our beautiful country of the United States of America. What a great question.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Great first question. And on that note, I would like to ask you about your uniform.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about all the colors? Are they just for fun?
Sure.
Do they have special meaning?
Sure, what a great question. So, I don't know if you can see, boys and girls, but each one of these colors, they're all individual pieces, right? So here's one piece, 2 pieces, 3 pieces. Each one of these are called ribbons. And each one of the ribbons that I wear on my chest means something different. For example, this one all the way at the top is a way for the military to say thank you for my service. And so it's given to men and women when they come to work and they try to do really good things. And so this is a way of the military being able to say thank you. This one right here on the bottom, for example, is when I completed a course when I was only 17 years old, which I know sounds so old, doesn't it? But trust me, it is not. That was a long time ago. We've got ribbons in here that talk about, I was able to shoot a rifle. I got to shoot a gun way back when, and I did really well with that. There's a medal in here for serving in a hurricane and helping people with a hurricane. There's a ribbon for graduation and education. So they mean all different things, and everybody gets to have different medals and different ribbons on their chest based on the kinds of things that they've done through the years. So
Okay, so how many total do you have?
I have 15 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
15 total.
15 total.
I also noticed that on your name tag, it's only your last name.
That's right. Yes. What a great point that is. So when you join the military, you kind of lose your first name. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Right? You kind of lose your first name, and your first name is replaced with a title or with a rank, right? And so when you first join, my last name is Coyne. Can everybody say that? Coyne. Just like what we carry in our pockets, like quarters and dimes and nickels, just like that. So my last name is Coyne. And when I first joined the military, my first name is still Chris, but they call me Airman Coyne. Airman Coyne. So that was my title. And when I retired many years later, my rank was chief. And so I went all the way from being an airman, always an airman, but a rank of airman all the way to the rank of chief. And so we really only need our last names on here to be able to identify ourselves, because this will tell people what my title and what my rank is, which is another good point. All these on my sleeve, you see them all? You can count them. Each one of those are different titles until you get to the very last one, and that's when I became Chief Coyne. Right. But just between me and you, my name's still Chris. But when you're in the military, they call you by different names, and so they called me Chief because of my rank, which was kind of cool and very humbling, for sure. Yeah, what a great question.
That's awesome. Well, Kylie, I saw you did ask a question about uniforms and medals, so I hope that answered it for you, Kylie, at home. Do any of my friends here have any questions before we go to our friends at home? We got lots of questions coming in. Hazel, what's your question?
And then I've never been to the military.
You've never been to the military?
So you're asking kind of like, what's the military like? She's never been.
I haven't.
Good question.
Well,
He's going to tell you, listen.
here's what happens. This is kind of fun, actually. It's really fun. when you continue to move through your grades, right? You go from kindergarten to first grade, and then on to second grade and third, and you go all the way up into high school, and then you finish high school, and then it's time to go out and go to work, right? Or go to college, which is many years from now. Well, instead of going to college or going to work, I shouldn't say it that way, because it was work, yes?
Yeah.
But instead of going to get a job, I joined the military. And the military is a place where men and women come together to wear uniforms to defend all of the freedoms of the flag of our United States of America, right? So that includes some bad stuff along the way, unfortunately, but it also includes a lot of good stuff, because we get to learn a lot about our country, and we get to do really great things like fly airplanes, and in the Army drive tanks, and in the Navy and the Marines they're on ships going all over the world. But that's a great question. You knew one Army?
Army plane shields. It's this giant tank that when it falls onto a city, it's a giant bomb that can explode a whole entire and wipe out a whole entire city.
Yeah, you know, that's a really great point, Henry, and it's difficult to think about, right? At such a young age, it's hard, but sometimes the military has to do that, and planes will drop bombs, but it will drop bombs to try to make sure that we're protecting people. And I know that sounds a little odd, but bombs are dropped oftentimes to protect people and to try to help people learn how to love once again. And that's a really challenging thing. One more thing to say about the military, though, is we didn't talk about this, but when I joined the military, I had to raise my right hand. Everybody raise your right hand like this, and I had to take an oath. And an oath is a promise, right? And when I raised my right hands, I would repeat an oath of enlistment, which means I left being just Chris Coyne in high school, and all of a sudden I became an airman in the United States military. And that was a big change, which I know some of you have family members and friends, and some of you at home know family and friends who have done the very same thing. And then they put the military uniform on, and their entire lives changed.
Wow.
For good. Yeah.
So let me ask this. Are there teachers in the military?
Oh. Guess who was a teacher in the military?
Who? Y'all, I promise I didn't know that. I was just asking if there was teachers in the military.
You believe I was a teacher? Some of you are going, no way. Absolutely no way. But guess who I taught? I taught mommies and daddies. I taught adults, right? And I taught them the very same things that I taught you today. How to march, and how to salute, and how to come to attention. And I taught a really important thing that every one of us should know, right? You ready for this? What's that? And the flag too, of course, Indy. I sure did.
Interviews?
Did I conduct interviews? I think so, yes. I sure did. Along the way, but most importantly, I taught people how to lead. Everybody say that word with me. Lead. What does it mean to lead or to be a leader? Go ahead, Mackenzie. It means to be in the front. That's right. It means that people want to follow you, right? Which, if you think about this, think about your friends. And think about the people in your lives that you love, right? And think about when they ask you to do things, right? And when you follow them, like mommies and daddies, or maybe older brother and sister, or Miss Rebecca, every day. When she asks you to do things, it's because she's the leader of the class. And it's really important to be a good leader in your life. And so I spent my time, a lot of my time in the military as a teacher, teaching people like mommies and daddies how to lead and be good leaders. And that's really a fun thing.
That is wonderful. I love that. We're going to learn how to be leaders, aren't we? It's a special thing. Okay, I have a friend. My friend didn't put their name, but my friend at home wants to know, how long were you in the military?
I was in the military for 27 years.
27.
Whoa.
I know. It is a long time, Ezekiel. You're right. And I know for some of you, you're having a little hard time believing that because I look so young.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just nod your
Right,
head.
boys and girls? Yes. But I'm actually 52 years old. That's pretty old, huh? And I joined the military when I was 17. I think we talked about that. And I wore this uniform for 27 years. And guess what? This is really kind of cool. I only put my uniform on one day a year. It goes back in my closet, and I only put it on one day a year. And guess what that day is? To come and visit you. Because every year you guys are so wonderful and kind and ask me to come speak and visit with you, and I get to put my uniform back on again, which is kind of nice and kind of fun. Yeah?
Sweet. Are you good for a couple more questions?
Of course.
Okay,
Yes,
this
thank
is
you.
such good stuff. Okay, my friend Maggie from Georgia, hi Maggie, wants to know if you, Mr. Chris, have a favorite book, favorite history book, or a favorite book in general that you like to read.
Wow, what a great question. I sure do. So, I guess the most obvious answer, because I am a man of faith, and my favorite book to read is the Bible, because it teaches so many great things about how to live. You like to read your Bible too? Wonderful. But I like to read other books too. You know what my favorite book of all time is, other than the Bible? Some of you may have heard this before. It's called The Hobbit. It's a story about a very young man who goes on an adventure, and he learns how to be a good friend, and he learns how to stand up for really good things that are right, like things we've talked about today, kindness and respectfulness and love. And along the way, he meets dragons, and he meets all kinds of cool, fun, adventure stuff. And it's my favorite book of all time, Maggie. And I also read an awful lot of books on how to develop leaders, which maybe we can talk about in a few years. But my absolute favorite book of all time is The Hobbit. And it's really, really, it's appropriate for really all ages. Maybe sometime we'll be able to talk about The Hobbit.
Absolutely. And my friend Indiana over here, I don't know if you heard her say that, she said, well, we have a Hobbit house.
You do have a
So our
Hobbit
Hobbit house.
That's exactly what it looks like, just like that. That's
I
so
love
cool.
it.
I want a Hobbit house.
You can
Maybe
come
I'll
to ours anytime.
I'll just
you
come
like.
hang out in
You
the
can
Hobbit.
come visit ours anytime you like. So we are, believe it or not, about out of time. We're gonna do a few things once our guest teacher leaves, but I do want to ask you if you had anything, a lot of pressure, I know, but if you had anything you could say to my friends here, my friends at home.
Yes.
Any final advice before you leave on kind of what got you where you are when you were in the military, where you are today? Just any kind of advice that we could hold on to before you leave.
Absolutely. 2 words, right? 2 words, boys and girls. And next time I see you, I'm going to ask you if you remember these 2 words. First word is learn. Everybody say that with me? Learn, right? Learning is so very important. And by the way, it's something you never stop doing. Whether you're 52 or whether you're 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, all through your life, it's important for you to learn, to continue to learn as much as you can. And the other word is an L word too. And we might even say it's even more important than learning. And that's to love. It's important to love one another. Unfortunately, sometimes we get divided. And we do a lot of things that tear us apart from one another. But really, what do we want? We want to be together, right? We want to help one another, and we want to be kind and be good friends, and we want to love one another. So never, ever, ever stop learning. Give me some of that. And never, ever, ever stop loving. And if you do those 2 things for the rest of your life, you're going to be very, very joyful, and you're going to bring joy to many, many people along the way. I have so loved being with you guys
We
today.
have loved you here as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Chris. Everyone say thank you to Mr. Chris.
Thank you, everybody.
I think it's safe to say, and we're going to talk in just a few minutes. I think it's safe to say that we definitely want you back as our guest teacher very soon.
Can I come back again? Sometime.
Our friends at home. Yes.
Well, I might just come visit then.
Yes,
What if
we
I
have
do
a
that
lot.
sometime?
And guess what? Guess what? My friends, listen up, or we can't hear you. We have a lot planned today. So guess what? I'm going to ask Mr. Chris to stick around for a little while, and we can have a little chat, okay? But we have got to let him go right now, and we are going to continue our conversation.
Thank you all
Thank
very
you,
much.
Mr. Chris.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Give me one on the way out.
Thank you.
Give me
One
one on the way
second.
out.
1 second.
Give me one on the way out.
Okay. Everyone say bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay, you guys, man, that was that not so exciting to meet someone in the military? Okay, let's talk about a few things. And remember, I'm going to ask him to stick around for a few minutes so he can talk to us. Let's talk about a few things that we learned today, but I need you to raise your hand so I can make sure I can hear you. Friends at home, we have a few minutes, so if there's anything you learned you want to share, please comment. Aubrey, what's one thing that you learned today?
I think I forgot.
1 second, 1 second. What is it?
We learned how to march.
We learned how to march. Ezekiel.
We learned that when we're doing the pledge of allegiance, we have to
Yes,
it's called a salute.
so yes, what my friend Ezekiel said for those who couldn't hear was, if you're wearing a hat during the Pledge of Allegiance, like Ezekiel was, what did he do? He took it off and put it where? He put it over his heart. Yes, very good. And that's so we show respect. Aiden, what did you learn?
To march.
We learned to march. Very good. Jalen?
To salute.
To salute, very good. Okay, we are going to say bye to our friends at home, and I think the best way to say bye to our friends at home is by saluting them. Everyone on your feet, turn to our friends at home, and let's give them a big salute. Everyone's attention. I'm not as good as Mr. Chris, but I'll give it a try. Attention and salute to our friends at home. We hope you enjoyed our guest teacher today. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow with us. We have another special guest teacher. Thank you guys for joining us. We got a busy day ahead of us. We're going to continue. Nice saluting, you guys. I love it. Let me see you guys stand to attention.
These are challenging times for children and for parents everywhere. Remember that school doesn't just have to be in a building with teachers and desks. School can and should happen everywhere. This program is made possible thanks to the generous support from the Dottie Frist Foundation, the Happy Davis Foundation, Hart Utilities, and viewers like you.